What's up YouTube? Capital G here. We got some actual interactive dueling gameplay for you guys to check out, at least in the first duel. Second duel, not so much. But yeah, you guys ever send me a good Dragon Maid duel, I will almost always upload it because I love me some Dragon Maids, man. Not only is it a fun and rewarding deck to play, but I actually feel like it's one of the more balanced decks Konami has made in the past. I don't know, like year or two. Like Dragon Maids never really feels oppressive, although it does have some good opening turns. If you don't summon, Show turn one, like you're basically not playing a deck, and you need to be able to do that. So he's gonna go ahead for Chamber. It's interesting if he would have gotten Ash there. He would have actually had he would have basically had no play here. Like, you need to be able to get Show in your first turn. He's going to bounce Chamber back to his hand. And, I mean, as crazy as this looks, this is actually a strong Dragon Maid, like a pretty good opening. As long as you make Show, you're good. You're in good shape. If you don't make her, you're not even playing the deck, basically. But you just kind of want to get her on field and then have maybe like one defensive card. But, she kind of creates so much advantage by herself that she can kind of sustain or she can kind of get you everything you need. So she brings back Chamber +1. Chamber would have been another +1, but she got Ash. Actually, I guess you take a +1 off the Ash, so that's like a +2. And then, of course, she has built-in negation. Now, Altergeist are not out of this duel by any stretch of the imagination. She's actually going to get hit with Solemn Strike, which kind of sucks, but you can bring her back from the graveyard with Chamber in the battle phase, so it's not really that big of a deal, honestly. Multifaker is going to be summoned, and he's going to go for the Sequidius. However, he does have the counter. That would be Dark Ruler no more, so no Sequidius response for you. You can bounce the Multifaker, but you can't use the effect. You can't resolve the Sequidius. He's going to go into some Link monsters here, and this is going to be a pretty spicy play. This is something I had not seen, going for Crossroads Dragon and also playing the Noctovision Dragon. Very interesting. It actually searches a Dragon Maid monster, and Permanence is going to hit the ever so broken Elpie, but he's going to go for Cross Sheep and then Fusion Summon again for House. That will activate the Cross Sheep, and that will bring back the Chamber, who can activate her effect as well, getting Hospitality, aka Monster Reborn, for the Dragon Maid archetype. So that's pretty cool. He's gonna send, I believe that is Changeover. Excuse me, Cleanup. Changeover is the fusion spell, and that's like a Call of the Haunted they can activate from the graveyard. He's going to bounce and summon Shao, and even after all of this, I would just like to say, even after all of this advantage and all these plays, the crazy thing is Altergeist is still not out of this duel, getting more pluses by using Changeover, bouncing, one of his Dragon Maids to hand. If his opponent had a monster, he'd be able to activate House there and pop that monster, but he has no monsters. So even after all of this, and you look at the turn one board, you're like, oh man, Dragon Maids, GG easy. It's still not technically over. That's what I like about this deck. Like, it never feels, when you're playing Dragon Maids, it never feels like unfair. You can always beat Dragon Maids if you know how to play your cards right, and mainly if you get this chick off the field. Now, he is going to summon Multifaker. I think I learned this the hard way. I believe when you're playing Dragon Maids and your opponent goes Faker, probably try to negate, because he already used personal spoofing. Try to negate the Multi-Faker when it activates on field, because the problem with you negating Faker in hand is he could easily still summon, the Mary, get the effect off, and then use Mary's effect and bring back Faker, and Faker would still be able to activate her effect to summon from deck, because you only negated the special summon effect. It's very similar to like Salamangreat Gazelle. If you can negate the hand effect, that's fine, but you gotta really negate that Forced Burial effect. And Salamangreat don't really have, well, I guess they do have some ways of bringing Gazelle back, but yeah, Altergeist, we knew that he had the Marionetta in hand. He's going to do exactly that. Like, he could have stopped all of this if he just would have thought his play back or thought his play a little more. Yeah, he just didn't think that through. Anyways, duel's not over. But in this situation, this is where you kind of have to pressure the Altergeist deck. He does have Concoria to stop a little bit of that pressure, but you just got to basically throw a ton of big bodies at them. He has a House on field. I believe that it is going to be bounced so that he doesn't lose any of his monsters. He didn't want him to get that Reborn effect off, but I think that he's still in good position, because as long as you had Changeover and you got them big Dragon Maids in, or you have access to them, you can always make Show. And as long as you can have Show on field, you should be in a winning position. He's going to summon that Show. He's going to get a monster back from Link Cross. I don't like Laundry. I think that card kind of sucks, honestly. And he even felt brazen enough to go for the 5-headed God Link Dragon monster. So every time, I swear to goodness, every time I see this card, it always gets Solemn Strike. It's always the counter to this card. People just like, they strike it or they use some type of Solemn. But even with him losing a Link 5, he is still pushing forward. Gonna activate the Dragon Maid Hospitality, get a Monster Reborn, and from here you just start bouncing into your big dragon forms, and you just start beating over Altergeist. I feel like outside of the Conqueror, he probably doesn't have the will to continue on with this duel. He's already used Sequidius, and he's already used most of his disruption. Actually, you know, Conqueror wouldn't have done that much here, because the true power of Conqueror is when you you block an attack and then you bounce your opponent. You bounce it with Sequidius, bounce an opponent's monster, and then you block another attack. Basically, with one Conqueror and one Sequidius, you can stop 3 attacks. That's the power of the play. But when you already have used Sequidius in the turn, the play has almost no power. So yeah, Dragon Maid's gonna take the W there. Second duel actually is gonna be the same, because I stupidly clicked the same duel. Second duel is going to be Altergeist getting their revenge on the poor, pathetic Dark Magician. Look, I like Dark Magician as much as the next guy, but you can't play, like, man, some of these cards, if you try to play them and one of your like normal summons gets stops, it's just bad. I guess he could have, nah, it doesn't matter if he special summoned this or normal summoned it. It was going to be the same. His opponent, the Altergeist player, just immediately freaking shotguns that Solemn Judgment, and then he's going to go for the copy of Multi-Faker, and he's going to resolve that baby. And I think he's just pretty much won off of that. As sad as this is just going to be straight flexing. He's going to get the Mary. Mary's effect will activate. Honestly, this is all inconsequential. He's going to get the copy of Predaplant, Verde Anaconda, and this was actually pretty spicy. I will give him credit for this. He's going to summon Multi-Faker. Does not activate the effect. If he would have used Multi-Faker's effect, he would have been locked into Altergeist monsters for the remainder of the turn, thus making the Verde Anaconda completely useless and I guess pointless as well. So he's not going to use that. Instead, he's going to go for that Rainbow Neos, by the way, of Neos Fusion, which, I mean, if you want to run that, I'm perfectly fine. I know this might sound like I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth. I'm perfectly fine with Konami keeping Verde Anaconda around and people playing like Neos Fusion, because basically Rainbow Neos, as much as I love the card, you know, I got a Ghost Rare copy of this card, it's just a giant beat stick for the most part. It doesn't have any protection, really good offense, but not, you know, no negation, not great defense. Red Eyes Dark Dragoon is just another behemoth. It has so much protection, pops cards for free, has the negation. That card I got a problem with. Rainbow Neos, just a giant beat stick. I'm fine with giant beat sticks in Yu-Gi-Oh!, especially in 2020. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the short duels. If you did, give the video a thumbs up. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos.